Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea with Tina podcast. Today's episode is something I don't often see addressed the right way, and I actually plan to make in the future a dedicated, in-depth YouTube video on this topic because I think it needs it. But we're gonna lightly brush the surface on this one today. So we're gonna be talking about how to make at-home workouts actually enjoyable and just chatting about like creating a home gym space that you actually enjoy, because I'm one of those people that when I look at stuff, maybe it's just the entrepreneur in me, but when I look at things, I tend to either like love them because I just love every single thing about them, like Hydro Jug or my Stanley Tumbler because I'm like a water bottle addict, or if I find one annoying fault in it, I will honestly be like, screw this, I don't want this sucks. So I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to those kind of things. And I kind of feel that way about at-home workouts. I've always loved gyms because they get you out of your house. Because your house is a place that you associate with, resting, watching TV, spending time with family, eating dinner, relaxing, cleaning, not working out. So it's hard to kind of switch that mindset. We're going to talk about how you can do that. But the gym creates kind of this atmosphere. You're away from your house. You have to force yourself out. It's, you're around other people. So you kind of have this like indirect feeling of competition, or, you got to put on a show, not in a negative way, for people. You got to show up and, you have a nice amount of workout equipment, and it's just a safe space. So definitely love gyms. We'll always love gyms. But with the pandemic, I think it, accelerated some at-home workout equipment. And I saw a lot of people get home gyms, especially fitness professionals. A lot of them upgraded to really, really nice garage gyms. Let me say that garage gyms, or like a she shed type thing that's like separate from your house, is the top tier at-home gym that you could get, aside from having a full-size gym like right next to your house, which that's like the next best thing, right? The garage gym. So I'm going to say that's your top tier gym. Which leads me into kind of what we're going to chat about, some of the things and the components of a home gym. So first is budget, right? So you have these different tiers. You got to kind of look at your current budget. So we have the garage gym or she shed gym. Whitney Simmons is a perfect example of like the top tier gym. Of course, she has like millions of followers. She's a Gymshark ambassador. She's rich, right? YouTube famous, but she has like a she shed with the nicest equipment. It's basically like a mini gym, and it's beautiful. Goals, right? Annie Miller's another one. She has a really nice garage gym. She's a fitness professional. She did a new build with her house. Very successful business owner, so hats off to her. But she has like a really nice squat rack. She has a sled. She has a treadmill, like all the professional gym equipment, and I just drool over it, and I hope to one day acquire that as well. Maybe a mixture of Whitney and hers gym. It's beautiful. But not all of us can afford that. Not all of us have the space to do that. So we have options, right? Even like the other day, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saved it because I thought it was the coolest thing, and I really want it, is a squat rack, okay, that you can actually press up into the wall. It's amazing. And they come in these amazing, like, bright neon pretty colors. I mean, I know you could, like, spray paint any of them. But the girl did it, and she, like, pulled it. It lies flat against your wall, and she pulled it out, and it turned into a squat rack. And I was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. I want this. Because I think out of everything, squat racks are probably the hardest thing to acquire if the limit space, but they're so versatile, and they're a great addition to your gym if you're comfortable with barbell work. And again, this kind of comes back to your goals, which we'll chat a little bit about, but like for squatting, benching, deadlifting, pull-ups, push-ups, rows, like you could do everything, shoulder pressing. Squat racks are queen for sure. So we have that garage gym is like the high tier, right? Then I could say we have the mid-tier, which would be a basement gym or like a dedicated room, right? So Our basement gym, you know, the ceilings might be a little low, or it might be a little dungeony, maybe it's not finished, but, you know, we have a nice selection of equipment. You might have, like, a little machine that does, like, lat pull downs and leg extensions combined. Maybe you do have, like, a little bench, your husband has it. You have a little TV with a treadmill in the corner. You know, maybe you have a Peloton. Not all these things, just different things. That could be something, or you have a little room. And then we kind of have the low tier, which would be, we kind of have a workout corner, which would be me, but I have some nice stuff. You have a workout corner in a room, because I live in an apartment, or you maybe even just have a bin, and when it's time to work out, you kind of like pull out that stuff to work with it, right? So, you know, we have all these different levels of at home, whether you have a dedicated room, a really nice room, or it's more portable. You got to kind of determine, so look at what space you have and then look at your budget. Another thing that's really big is, what is your primary goal? Okay, so, and this can also depend your size. You know, if you're somebody who is really just into yoga and like YouTube videos, you don't really have a need for the fancy big gym, even if you have the money to do it, right? It'd be kind of pointless. I guess you could create your own mini little like yoga studio if you wanted to, but I mean, it's not necessary, right? So think about your goals. You know, if I like primarily like strength training with a combination of like circuit stuff. So I'd probably be very similar to what Annie Miller has with like, you know, squat racks, some different lifting equipment, maybe a hex bar. I'm going to have a sled so I can go outside and do sled pushes. I'm going to have slam balls, kettlebells, and things like that. So I think I would benefit from a full gym setup. Other people, they might just work with bands. Like I said, they do yoga work. If you want YouTube videos, maybe you try to create a space around your TV because you kind of want that at-home workout vibe, and you're doing body weight workouts, and it's just what you enjoy. And again, remember that your at-home gym doesn't necessarily have to be like your end-all be-all. Like, you're allowed to have other options. You're allowed to have a gym you work out at. You're allowed to have your home for, you know, when you do body weight workouts. Maybe you're in a pinch and you need some quick grab and go workouts. Maybe the weather's bad, you don't feel like commuting to the gym. Maybe, you know, you got to take care of the little ones, you can't leave the house because you have kids. You know, there's all different reasons that you can use at-home workouts too. So I think reframing our mindset around it and knowing like it doesn't have to be the end-all be-all, like, oh my god, I'm stuck with my home gym, I'm not allowed to get a gym membership. No, you can also use it as an accessory. That's cool if you use only your home gym, but it doesn't have to be that way. Okay. And then I think something else that's important to talk about would be vibe, for lack of a better description, and ease of use and convenience. So I think the number one reason that people don't work out at home, even if they just want to pop up like a workout on their TV, is usually that's going to be in your living room or your bedroom or maybe your office, and it's that connection. Like how they always say you shouldn't work in your bedroom because you associate that room with sleeping. It kind of like messes with your brain. So if you don't have a lot of space, I recommend creating a little routine, because I've started to do this as well as I've shifted more for my online coaching clients, because for those of you who don't know, I do own an online coaching business, Tina Wild Fitness. I do train some in-person clients as well, and I do have a gym membership, but I do find myself training at home a couple days a week if I'm not getting out for the day, because I don't want to maybe make the trip to the gym. Sorry for my squeaky chair, I was shifting. So I kind of found myself with this routine because I have my big TV in my apartment. So what I'll do in my living room is I push my ottoman aside, I'll bring my yoga mat out, I'll get any equipment I need, I'll light a candle, I'll screencast onto my Roku, you know, the workout I want onto YouTube, and we'll run through it. And I kind of set the tone. So I want you to think about your room or area and think like, what is your routine that you need to do? What do you need to do to set the tone to get you in the mood? Maybe you need to put on some good music. Maybe you get your pre-workout rolling, or an Alani Nu, an energy drink. You light a candle to have a scent. Maybe you put stuff up on the wall to motivate you. Maybe you have certain equipment that you pull out to get yourself ready, and then maybe there's a certain little workout that you watch. Like I have some workouts on my YouTube channel, follow along workouts if you want to use those to get you in the mood to get going, right? So there's a couple different things I think you can use, and that kind of goes along the side of ease of use and convenience, and even pulling it back to the squat rack, how you can just drop it down from the wall. Like that could be another thing, like stuff that's easy for you to grab and go. And I would definitely think about that when you're picking at-home equipment with bands, like bands with handles. Is there an attachment that you can put it on the door? My one client, I train her from home, and she has an attachment that she got on the door with like different little notches that she could put the bands in, which I never saw that before. It was really inexpensive, and you could tie it at different heights on the door. I've always just seen it where you put it up at the top of the door, like, and shut the door, and that's what holds it. But you can do it at different levels. So if you wanted to do a seated row or chest flies, you can keep it in the middle. Or if you want to put it down low, you could do bicep curls. Or if you want to put it up high, you could do lat pull downs. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there with that. So definitely take into account and do a little bit of research when it comes to the equipment that you need, and maybe spend a couple extra dollars, read the reviews, go through and look at your options so you find something that works for you, something that might have some nice additional features, something that's going to get you motivated. Because if you get something crappy that doesn't work and you don't enjoy using it, you're going to be a lot more likely to not work out, right? So we want to make sure that we do that. And then going back to the vibe, another thing, I know I mentioned candles. I mean, you don't need a candle. That could be potentially dangerous, I guess. But the one woman that I knew when I went into her gym in her basement, the one part that I loved is she had a ceiling, and not everybody can do this, but she had a ceiling, and she lined, like, strip lights around it. I mean, like, look, this little light, this was like $12 at Home Goods. So, like, even little stuff like this, if you, like, are a lights color person, consider, like, getting something cheap like that. And it's battery operated. Like, it's not, like, this fancy, expensive neon. Consider doing that. Hang it up on your wall to, like, set the vibe, set the mood. Do you want it dimly lit? Do you want it to be bright? Is there a certain plug-in scent that maybe will get you going when you smell that scent and you walk into the room? It's going to prime you to work out. Do you want a certain speaker in there maybe to have like a really nice surround system? Are you going to be using your headphones? Is there certain motivational pictures on the wall, somebody that you look up to, or maybe you have a whiteboard where you can write out your workouts? Like, what is going to work for you? Everybody's a little bit different for what they want and what they're motivated by, so think about that. And I know sometimes we're restricted with what we can work with, like the basement workout. It could be like, you're training in a dungeon because it's like the dark, kind of crappy cement basements. I know, because I had one growing up. And you try to work out down there and you're like, oh, this feels not great. But like, what can you do to warm it up to make it feel good, so you're not just throwing the clothes over your treadmill and it's collecting dust? Right? And I hear the car again. I swear to God, these cars that drive past my house, I absolutely hate it. The loud motors. But anyway, what can you do to make it your own? And can you take your workouts outside maybe? Can you do that? When it's nice out, can you drive to a local park and do your workout? Or maybe you live somewhere where your weather isn't too bad all year round and you can actually do it. Or maybe you can venture out in the winter and experiment a little bit, try ice skating, or running around in the snow, or snow tubing, or skiing, or something like that. So you do have a lot of options. I think it's just about getting creative, and I think it's about taking a checklist of kind of like what's going on with what you want, what your goals are, and fitting it to you. You don't always have to do the stereotypical at-home gym, although I will say if you go on Pinterest or something like that, or even just Google search it, different at-home gyms, that'd be a great way to get inspiration. And I know there's always kind of fun little hacks of how to put up like mirrors on a budget, different decoration tips, different layout tips that can inspire you. So it's worth checking it out. But I hope this kind of sparks some motivation for you as far as if you're looking to build a home gym for yourself, or maybe upgrade your home gym, or just start an at-home gym, you get some new ideas, okay? Let me know if you have an at-home gym in the comments, if you're listening on YouTube, or watching on YouTube, I should say. Let me know your setup. Do you have any ideas? Do you have any good DIY stuff? I want to know. But other than that, guys, I think I'm going to let you go. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will chat soon. Bye.